Thank you all for coming. We're really thrilled to have all of our SMPS members. Today we have Dean Hyers, which we're really excited to have with SagePresence. And we also have Troy Parkinson here from SagePresence. Welcome and thanks again for being here.
Screen presence is a little different than stage presence, mostly because in stage presence, you're quite along, you're 15 feet away from your audience, or 8 feet away is about the closest you ever are. And so this is kind of an intimate environment with a camera that's very close. And suddenly, people care about, like, what's in your background? Have you taken the time, to stop and look at what's behind you? I've been surprised at some of the things I've seen in interview prep, and sometimes just before the interview, there'll be like, I'm like, dude, are you like sitting on your bed? It's like there's your closet is open and there's all these kittywampus hangers. And it's like, are you a bachelor? Clearly you're a bachelor based on the way your room looks. But you got to think about what's behind you, because where you used to have a business background, you suddenly have your house. Or you might have your office, but you want to really think about what's this saying? So if I were live and there were an actual audience, I would be spending direct eye contact with that person over there for about a thought. And then I'd talk to this person over here. Then I'd talk to the person toward the back, and then I'd look at you. Well, you're all right there in one spot. So confidence is communicated by eye contact. It's one of the best techniques to show yourself as confident, whether you're nervous or not, is to make eye contact. So it means you're going to spend 90% of your time looking at the lens.
How do you tell the grumpy person that they actually look angry? How do you share that with your coworkers or sometimes your superiors in those situations?
Usually I start by doing what I just did, is I model it for them and I say, this is what people are like. I'll tell you what I do in an interview prep, and it's a little, I don't think it's really mean, because it doesn't really single any one person out. I just do a screen capture. They're sitting there talking, they're all on the screen looking crabby as can be, and I do a screen capture and then I send it to them. And I say, look at it. I don't usually have to do that, because normally just the demonstration makes them realize that. And usually once you're talking about it at the beginning of an interview prep, the people start saying, wow, yeah, I'm seeing this. Ooh, wow. And then they all jump on poor Susie or somebody. And, but so we practice it. So we practice the following. What we're doing is we practice appreciating. Tag teaming is really good when you get past your main points into the details, and you have to practice with your partner so that you know how to anticipate each other.
And when you anticipate each other, you know that you can jump in when you need to. And that's one of the things that we know is that as partners, when we have to hand the baton to each other, we trust that the other one's going to be there to pick it up.
So Troy and I practice this a fair amount, and so that we can tag team. And I'm listening for certain cues. And one of the main cues is we promised each other that we're going to try to make the end of something sound like it's stopped.
And when it's stopped, we know that we can keep going and continue the conversation. But more importantly, we also know that if we get interrupted, that what to do when we get interrupted.
But sometimes you actually jump in at the wrong time. And what the rule is, if someone interrupts you, you stop and you smile.
And if you keep going, you don't keep apologizing. Because that is one thing that the selection committees that we've spoken to have commented on. They don't like you apologizing in the middle of a presentation, whether it's you're apologizing for the technology or you're apologizing for interrupting each other.
So we can do this pretty well. And this is what you have to practice more of, because it's almost, aside from the positive presence, the eye contact with the screen when you're talking and listening, the appreciation and warmth, it's the ability to tag team that makes somebody in a Zoom circumstance say, wow, this team is really good. I like what they're like together. So spend more time on that.